Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Coach Curt Cignetti Show. I'm Jack Benedict, and we're here to talk IUP Crimson Hawks football. Tough game last week at Slippery Rock. Two rivals, of course, going at it at the Rock, 42-16. Slippery Rock comes away with a victory. Coach, it's always tougher to do these shows when you have a game like this. And, you know, really, IUP hasn't had too many games like this over the years. Tell us exactly, what happened here from your estimation and after you reviewed everything after the game.
Well, this is the first game we've had like this since I've been here as the head coach. We had a big challenge on the road at Slippery Rock. I thought we had a good week of preparation. I thought our guys were focused and ready to play. I felt pretty good about that. We got out there when the actual game started. We held them the first series on defense. We got the ball on offense, made 2 first downs, moved the ball a little bit. And then came up with a third down play that we ran the ball and they were in a certain defense. And I thought, wow, this is going to come out for about 20. And we missed a couple assignments up front and got stopped, punted the ball. So, they came back and scored. Mm-hmm. And then it was 7-0. And we didn't execute very well on offense, had 2 procedure penalties on the line, back-to-back series that kind of set us back in the long yard situations. And even though we weren't playing really great on defense, we were still stopping them. And so first 4 series, we stopped them 3 times. 5th series, we stopped them. And we had a guy line up offsides on a punt. That was really a big play because now that kept the drive alive. And the second play, they hit us on an out and up for a touchdown. Our corner didn't line up right. And so now it's 14-0. Well, I was still okay with it. I mean, I could tell they had a lot of energy and they were playing great. They were playing their A game. Mm-hmm. And But then we come back the first play, complete a pass, and the receiver fumbles the ball. And so all the things that sort of you had to do that would lead to kind of like this sort of scenario that happened Saturday, we did. And that got us down 21-0, and then we just sort of really never punched them back. And our defense was in a position where they've been shutting people out and haven't been giving up points. And after they scored 14 and put 21 on the board, they lost their poise a little bit. Offense couldn't pick up the slack. And so, it was a long day. But, I give a lot of credit to Slippery Rock. They played a great game. They played their A game. We didn't play very well. Their quarterback was tremendous. I mean, he's a superstar at that position. He had a fabulous day. Mm-hmm. And, we didn't put much pressure on him. With a 4-man rush, he had all day to throw the ball. He did a great job of throwing, and the receivers did a great job of catching. And they got the run game going, which was my biggest fear because now everything else opens up. We had some missed assignments on defense, some guys not do what they were supposed to do. The hurry-up affected us. But offensively, we couldn't help our defense out. Mm-hmm. And, that was disappointing to me. Still thought at halftime we had a chance to come back. I really did. But, it was too little too late. Once we got it going a little bit in the 4th quarter. Our guys didn't give up. But, I wasn't pleased with the performance. I thought by far, since I've been here, it was probably, our worst performance. Mm-hmm. So we just got to bounce back and get better.
It was 2 extremes, those little mistakes really added up from IUP standpoint. And Slippery Rock, I had mentioned on the radio broadcast, I think they could have won the national championship with that type of performance. Let me ask you this. You had alluded to a little bit about the no-huddle, the hurry-up offense. Yeah. You were prepared for that somewhat, but it was really quick. I mean, they were really spitting it out.
Yeah, there's a big difference between practicing it and going against it full speed. And could we have done a little better job during the week in our preparation? As I look back, maybe we could have. They have different tempos. They went with the quicker tempo a lot more in this game. And we were in a check with me defense, and we weren't getting lined up quick enough. And so it caused us some problems. Mm-hmm.
Now, all indications I got during the course of the week from you and from the coaches and the players that you actually had a pretty good week of practice, and it looked like it appeared that you were ready to play, and then some of these little things unraveled and things got worse.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about football in general. I mean, you never know what can happen, and things happen during a game, and there's going to be adversity, and how are you going to respond to the adversity? And, you catch a team with a hot hand, and if you're not playing your best, it can unravel on you. And that's really what happened. We went on the road, hostile environment, and played a team that just played great, and the quarterback was tremendous. And we got behind, and I kept waiting for the ball to bounce our way. You know, we had a lot of deep balls that were close to interference calls or up for grabs, or would have guys open deep and would slightly underthrow them. And I just kept waiting for us to get that break where things would start going our way, but you know, it was just not meant to be on Saturday. So it was a tough day.
Well, I think you brought it up earlier too. The fact of the matter is you came back and did play a pretty decent fourth quarter. You got some people going. The guys didn't give up. You know, it could have been, you know, you could have no score at all in that fourth period of play, but that's an indication. That's good. That's a positive. You got to look for positives.
We won the fourth quarter 13-0. So, you know, this is going to be a lesson for our guys. We're not going to panic and do, you know, crazy things. You know, they're going to see it on tape. Hopefully we'll get the opportunity to play these guys again. That would be great. But our focus right now needs to be to improve every single day.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need to think about Tuesday or Saturday. We just need to get better today.
Well, this is a similar situation you had last year. Of course, the loss at Cal was one that could have gone the other way with such a close game, but you get a loss, and now you got to start a new winning streak.
Yeah, it's similar in that regard. It's a little bit different in that we were playing extremely well and lost to Cal and really physically beat them up and lost a game we shouldn't have. This one's a little different in that, you know, the game just got out of hand on us. So, and every team's got a little bit of a different personality. Hopefully this is going to be an eye-opener for some guys sort of to jump in and sort of refocus in on what they've got to do to be successful. And, you know, I feel confident that we'll bounce back. I mean, it won't be a great week in terms of how everybody feels, but we'll get through it and we'll get better every single day, and we'll be looking forward to playing Edinburgh on Saturday. When
you viewed the video, what positives did you see out of it? Because there always seems to be a positive no matter how good you play or how bad you play.
Well, you know, I thought our kicking game was pretty good. I thought Brett Allman really kicked the ball very well, and I thought Matt Spiegel punted the ball very well, and our punt coverage, except for one, was good. And our kickoff coverage was good. We had a good kickoff return come out, but we fielded a couple balls in the end zone and brought them out that we shouldn't have. I thought Terrell Barnes is a warrior and just played like a warrior, and you know, he had a great day. I mean, he dropped one that he could have had, but you know, he was a dominant player out there. And you know, I think on defense, Dorian Lane played pretty good, and but you know, it was kind of a tough day for our defense. It really was. They played an offense that came in averaging 50 points a game, and they played their best game of the year, and the quarterback played his best game of the year. And we couldn't do enough on offense to help our defense. You know, the formula for us has always been run the ball, control the clock, keep the defense off the field, don't put them in bad positions. You know, then if defense can get them 3 and out, you know, they're not on the field very much. Now, we haven't run the ball quite as well this year because, you know, our lines, we lost 2 good linemen, and then we've had some injuries up front. So it's put a little bit more pressure on our quarterback. And so we got to get back to the basics, get back to being physical, tough, hard-nosed team. I wasn't just, you know, we didn't play IUP football on Saturday, and we got to get back to doing that.
Okay, that's gone. So Edinburgh's up next. It's a 1 o'clock game coming up on Saturday. You're back home. Edinburgh's 3-3. Gannon handled them pretty well last week. They lost their outstanding quarterback earlier this year, Cody Harris. What do you see now with the new kid? I guess he's a big boy, a big kid. He's a redshirt freshman. What do you see when you see the Borough?
Well, you know, they lost their quarterback, their leader, so they've been kind of struggling without him a little bit, and so they're not quite playing as well as maybe they were hoping they would. On defense, they take a lot of chances, a lot of blitzes to try to stop the run because they're not real stout. So you got a lot of one-on-one matchups on the outside. So they're 3-3. They're coming off a loss to Gannon, who's a rival, and they've got to come down to our house. We've played well at home, and so you know we'll be looking forward to playing.
Well, there's no question that Edinburgh and IUP had some great games over the years. They were down a little bit and then come back up. But you're going to get their best shot again. It doesn't matter who's the quarterback. You know they are. They're going to come after you.
You know, we do. We've got a bullseye on us, but it doesn't really matter. It comes down to how we play. And we've played well at home. Now, we need to play better on the road, but we'll worry about that our next road game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be nice to be back at home, playing in Miller Stadium. We've had some great crowds. I know our kids will be excited to get back out on the field, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Let me ask you this. You had mentioned that what you call good on good in practice, you didn't do as much last week. I mean, you never know the variables in a football game, but will you do more of that this week or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think when things don't go your way, you know, you start to look at a lot of things that you could have done differently. And because Slippery Rock's scheme was just so different than our scheme, you know, we didn't do as much good on good because, you know, we wanted to get the preparation in on defense. But, you know, at the end of the day, I didn't think we played real fast. I thought we were a little bit soft. And that's what the good on good work does. It keeps you fundamentally sound up front, gets guys playing fast. And so, you know, if I had to do it over again, would I do it different? Definitely, I'd do a lot of things different. But that's your 20/20 hindsight when you're not successful.
Yeah.
You know, you start to question everything.
How about the injury situation? Some guys were banged up, but are you in pretty decent shape for this week? We start the second half of the year.
Yeah, you know, Bruce Atkins still has a big cast, so he really was kind of limited in what he can do. Jay Watkins pulled a groin at corner, so we'll have to find out what his status is. Terrell Barnes hurt his finger, and, you know, we'll have to kind of see how his status is during the week. Hoping to get Logan Weaver back Tuesday. You know, that's a wait and see kind of thing. And Eric Finkley ought to be feeling better. You know, he hadn't played much the last 2 weeks because of his ankle and his knee, and we miss him. So, you know, Alex Burdall's still a couple weeks away.
Yeah. Okay, well, good luck against the Borough. I know you'll give it your best shot. I know they'll be ready to play, and we hope the fans will come out and back you. I'm sure they will.
Thanks, Jack.
Okay. Coach Curt Cignetti, don't forget it's Edinboro, 1 o'clock kickoff, so we'll have it for you on the radio. We'll, of course, be back here on the TV side to talk with the coach about the next game coming up. So for Coach Cignetti, this is Jack Benedict, and we hope you'll have a nice evening.